Distinguished members of the panel, fellow researchers, good day. Our study is motivated by the United Nations call to transform the world through good health and well-being and quality education. Our research is entitled Teaching Practices in Secondary Schools Online Learning During Pandemic Times. Authors are Maria Milagros C. Velez, Arthur D. Rosalem, Kenneth Paul C. Duran, Noel N. Pitt, Irvin K. Noai, Margie D. Amida, Sheila May V. Galon, and your presenter, Giselle Ann A. Alvarez. The COVID-19 pandemic challenges not only the economy, but the education as well. Teaching practices need to be adaptive to a situation where the students become anxious and stressful because of the sudden change in the classroom environment. Reports said that the abrupt shift to learning was observed to affect the K-12 in terms of mental health challenges, as well as their well-being, technological barriers, heightened risk for anxiety and stress, and loss of access to student organizations and peers that support and affirm them, teachers and school staff. The study proposes teaching strategies that will help the students minimize stress and anxiety inside and outside the virtual classrooms. This will also help us understand the practices of teachers in Dumaguete City, Philippines, and how it varies given their social demographics. For the problems, number 1, what is the demographic characteristics of the respondents? What is the extent of teaching practices in online learning when grouped according to intellectually related, physically related, and emotionally related practices? Do the teaching practices significantly differ according to each of the following: school, age, teaching experience, and educational qualification? This quantitative descriptive study determined the teaching practices in online classes during pandemic. A total of 159 teachers handling online classes from the 7 secondary schools in Dumaguete City, Negros Oriental, Philippines, responded to the survey. Data were collected using a 20-item researcher-made online survey questionnaire. Purposive snowball sampling was employed because of quarantine restrictions in the area. The survey instrument was pilot tested and it had a Cronbach alpha of 0.862, which is considered good. Permission from school heads was sought. Upon their approval, the survey was conducted from the 1st to 15th of July 2021. Data were collated and analyzed using SPSS 27, frequency, percentage, mean, standard deviation, ANOVA, and LSD post-hoc test were obtained. Less than 3 standard deviation was interpreted as homogeneous. The scale and means were described as follows. 5 range 4.20 to 5 all the time or daily. 4 range 3.4 to 4.19 most of the time, MOOT, and so on and so forth. Results and discussions. Data show that majority of respondents are teaching in the 2 schools, A and C. In terms of age, the highest in the age groups is 40 to 44 years old. However, it can be gleaned in the table that there were closer age groups with almost similar percentage, such as age group 35 to 39 and 50 to 54. Results and discussions. The demographic characteristics. Here in Table 1, data show that majority of respondents are teaching in the 2 schools, A and C. In terms of age, though the highest in the age groups is 40 to 44 years old, it can be inferred in the table that there were closer age groups with almost similar percentage, such as the age group 35 to 39 and 50 to 54. It means that the respondents are closely related in terms of age. The respondents are new teachers with an experience of 1 to 3 years. Extent of teaching practices. Table 2 presents the teaching practices as intellectually related, physically related, and emotionally related. Results revealed an overall mean of 4.07 SD 0.41, interpreted as most of the time. The mean of each group is as follows: intellectually related 3.85, physically related 3.94, and emotionally related 4.29. The overall mean suggests that respondents are employing intellectually, physically, and emotionally related practices most of the time. Moreover, emotionally related group has the highest mean and physically related group has the lowest mean. These emotionally related practices are mindful of learners' feelings and responses, manifests a positive attitude, exhibits a happy disposition at all times, listens with a heart, generous with praise, cautious with sarcasm, never ignore an opportunity to help, gentle in giving reminders, corrections. It emphasizes the importance of the learner's feelings during pandemic, which reaffirms the school's role as an excellent place to assist students' emotional well-being, especially positive and healthy dispositions. It is therefore imperative for educators to assist students by involving guidance counselors to students who are bored, anxious, and suffering from mood swings. On the other hand, physically related teaching practices such as available at all times and encourages learners to sleep 8 hours a day were used all the time. Also, there were practices involving that minimize intellectual stress that were done most of the times. These practices include provide student consultation and organize a schedule, creating a venue for the students to consult with the teacher, enables to bridge communication gap between the teacher and student. Most of the time, the teacher and student do not have opportunity to discuss individual concerns. Figure 1 presents the frequency of occurrence of each of the teaching practices in the following group: emotionally related, physically related, and intellectually related. In relation to Table 2, it can be further gleaned that the figure is mostly dominated by the sky blue bars that represent the statement that occurred all of the time as compared to the lavender, green, red, and navy blue bars. This is followed by the lavender bars that represent most of the time. It is in the emotion-related statements that most of the longest sky blue bars can be observed. It reinforces the results in Table 2 that the teaching practices of the respondents are within the emotionally related group. Significant difference in teaching practices. Before the results here presented in Table 3, we have the one-way MANOVA results, which revealed a significant difference in the teaching practices based on school, with F equals 1.251, P less than 0.05, P Lyell's trace of 0.921, and partial eta squared of 0.153. Since the null hypothesis is rejected using the P-Lyell's trace, the univariate ANOVA was performed. Hence is Table 3. Table 3 presents a separate ANOVAs of the 20 dependent variables, but we only show here the intellectual-related group. Results show the following F ratios for each group of dependent variables. Intellectual-related group, we have P less than 0.05, physically related group P less than 0.05, and emotionally related group p less than 0.05. The findings confirm that there is a significant difference according to school in terms of the following practices in each group, such as the employing of interactive tool, which includes games to minimize stress, encouraging physical exercises at certain times during online learning, and cracking jokes and using humor. Table 4 presents the multiple comparisons post hoc test using LSD. Results disclose that the teachers at School D use of interactive tools like games is significantly higher than schools A, B, and E. This implies the type of leadership exhibited heightened with the provisions of computers with free monthly internet connectivity by private donors. Moreover, the principal of School D continuously seeks strong linkages. Furthermore, as a performing school, School D garnered several awards in the division city and regional levels. The focus for group performance has in turn cascaded to students and stakeholders, thereby motivating students to hone on their technology skills. Table 5 discloses that the teachers in School G, remotest and farthest level of student encouragement to exercise at certain times is significantly lower from schools A, C, and D. The culture of letting children indulge in physical exercises, even in online classes, has not been fully demonstrated in School G due to the type of leadership and the teachers are aging over 50 and above. Table 6 reveals the teachers in School D use of jokes and humor during online class level, which is significantly higher than schools B, C, and F. This again underscores the fact that the leader of School D deals with the faculty in a jovial and humorous manner. Before the result here in Table 7, we have the MANOVA result. The Roy's largest root statistics revealed a significant difference in teaching practices based on age, with F equals 2.390, P equals 0.002, Roy's largest root of 0.346, Parcha et al. Squared of 0.257. In follow-up ANOVA, we have here the test of between subjects, show that among all 20 dependent variables, there is a significant difference in teachers' manifestation of positive attitude based on age with F equals 2.167, P equals 0.04, and partial eta squared of 0.091. Subsequent multiple comparisons post hoc LSD test disclosed that 25 to 29 years old teachers' level of positive attitude manifestation during online classes is significantly higher than 20 to 24 years old and 30 to 44 years old, as shown here in the last column with the asterisks. This shows that the new teachers are still struggling to adjust in the school environment, while those from 25 to 29 age group have already gained experience in dealing with diverse student population, thereby enabling them to localize lessons while injecting humor and wit to motivate students. Furthermore, what is noteworthy is that after the age bracket of 30 to 44 years old, there's a decline in the positive attitude heightened with the pandemic scenario. Generally, as people aged, health and financial issues confront them and color their life's vision, thereby constraining the degree of positive outlook compared to the time when they were 25 to 29 years old. Before the results presented here in Table 8, we have the MANOVA results, which revealed a significant difference in teaching practices based on teaching experience with F equals 2.098, P less than 0.05, Roy's largest root of 0.304, partial eta squared of 0.233. Here in Table 8, the follow-up ANOVAs show that there is a significant difference on the giving of assignments and homework based on teaching experience, with F equals 3.104, P equals 0.007, and partial eta squared equals 0.109. LSD tests revealed that the limit to the assignments and homework given by the teachers is significantly lower among 16 to 18-year experienced teachers than the rest of the teachers, except for the 10 to 12-year experienced teachers. This could be attributed to the fact that those with teaching experience from 16 to 18 years were schooled in the traditional face-to-face manner, where assignment was part of mental discipline and training to gain cognitive knowledge. Also, since these teachers have difficulty using the learning management system, this hindered them from finishing their lessons, have instead given these unfinished lessons as assignments. Lastly, we have the one-way MANOVA results, which revealed no significant difference in teaching practices based on educational qualifications. Or these teaching practices significantly vary in terms of school, especially with the use of interactive applications, encouragement to do physical exercises, and cracking jokes and humor, as big schools which are situated in a city proper are equipped with technology-ready infrastructures and trainings which may not be available in smaller and remote schools. Teaching practices also significantly differ between age of the teachers and teaching experience. The mixture of younger and older teachers in terms of age and experience vary in their teaching practices in the context of their respective schools. Younger or millennial teachers have teaching practices which may not be similar to that of the older or experienced ones, and vice versa. For the recommendations, reinforce the utilization of other teaching practices to create a sense of balance and promote the well-being of students. Establish a venue of sharing teaching practices, especially in the use of interactive tools. The way students are encouraged to do physical exercises, and the best practice of injecting humor in the class. Establish a venue of sharing best teaching practices among new and experienced teachers, and conduct further research among the modular-based educators. Thank you and have a good day.